Greetings, fellow dwarves. Radamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, Taming the Wilds, Episode 14, Protected Pasture. Can you flood the moat? You can, but it's a bad idea. More things can swim than they can climb. So if you flood the moat with water, you're creating a way for them to cross. It's better to have just a deep pit. If you do end up wanting to go with the moat, it probably is a good idea to either use lava so that items are destroyed, or for you to build in some method to be able to drain your moat so that you gain access to its resources. Because if enemies are drowning in the water outside your base, well, their loot can't be obtained anymore, right? Because, well, you would drown trying to swim to it. You can train your dwarves to swim, but they're never going to be able to swim well enough to, like, traverse a moat. Is water necessary to define as a moat? I don't know. Ask Webster. I don't care. It serves the same purpose, so to me it's the same thing. All right, so the merchants are leaving soon. If you guys have Shem staying here, let's see what I can do to cheer up Shem, because he's the only one who's like stark raving, angry, mad. He's stressed. Let's check his wants and needs. He likes slate, pig iron, pineapple, opal, lilac, low boots. I don't know what to help him with. Kind of on his own. So what was some of his unmet needs? Acquire object. So that's just when you haul trinkets, you steal one for yourself. Help somebody, be friends, cause trouble, think abstractly. Trying to think if any of them are really easy to do. So in terms of needs, think abstractly would be scribing. Which I don't have the capacity to do. There's no one to help. He has to make his own friends. I can't do that for him. And causing trouble is not something I'm about to, like, encourage him to do. So, let's try to have him make friends. So I think what I'll do is I'll stick him back into the Tavern Keep. Oh, he already is the Tavern Keep. Alright, I'm giving you a special name now, then. Shem the Sad Sack. Sad Sack Shem. Congrats. You've been what's called a promotion. Kick him off of this workbench. And maybe he'll Tavern Keep for us. Alright, looks like you guys next, once I finish this current project, want me to do production and management improvements. Got it. I will think about what that means. And think up of a project that fits. Have some ideas. Alright, caravan's gone. There's the wagon. Yep, whole wagon's gone. Good. One thing I could do is I could have subtasks. So for work production, what work production to do. So here's some options. Set up a proper work district. Add a farm. Yeah, one of those two. So would it work to... Oh, we've got diplomacy. No, we don't. It's a false button. So a proper work district would be me setting up like some sort of designed resource inputs to outputs, whether it's like paper for a library or glass or, you know, a permanent steel forge setup, something like that. And adding a farm, now that we have a perimeter here, adding a farm is relatively easy. But I also could do a greenhouse farm. There's multiple types of farms to be had. And we're almost done channeling this, well, not almost, like almost half done channeling that layer out, and then we'll wrap that up. All right, let's see who's second crankiest. That would be Boiler Snake. Boiler Snake really just wants to pray to things. And unfortunately, I don't have a temple to dedicate to his gods, so he's going to have to wait until I get one. All right, so 2.5 minutes on that poll. Do I have a general temple? I do. But he has specific needs. So right now I have a temple to Alad, which is Temple of the Sun, and I have a Temple of Beauty to Adil Diamond Lathered. And then I have a generalist temple here. But he wants to pray specifically to his god in his own temple, and yeah. Until I get a special temple set up for one of his multiple gods that he wants to pray to, he's just going to be upset. Which is fine. Ah! So here is a mace man sneaking around who wants to steal stuff. There he is. Let's chase him. You want to steal my stuff? I'm going to send my iron dwarves after you. Which is really just a misnomer now. They're steel dwarves, technically. Oh, here they come. You best be running. Oh, he caught you. Oh, you went splat. Super splat. You're dead. Good job. Alright, so taking a look at the combat logs here. You tore a tendon in his skull. Wow. Let me make sure that they're healthy. My people, that is. I don't care about him. He's a... So, Boiler Snake has a sutured finger. But that's an old injury, if I recall. Zach Dyer is unharmed. And Malful is unharmed. Yeah, don't come around here trying to steal my stuff, or I'll squish you. So, enjoy this squishing. Cool. I'll live to fight another day, famous last words. Yeah, no he won't. He'll live to get squished by me. Deliciously. Right, so I'm going to throw down some fortifications up here so that we can shoot out. So fortifications are kind of like arrow loops. There are actually something called arrow loops, which are different. But fortifications are sort of like arrow loops where you can shoot out, enemies can't shoot in unless they're very, very skilled. Makes it much harder to fire back in. It's a whole lot of these. I think what I'll do is I'll have the corners just be regular walls. Oops, not like that. And wow, it's a tie. So I'm going to flip a coin between a farm and proper work production chain. The coin will decide. Let that be a lesson, human. Don't taunt me. That's pretty funny. Still wrapping this one up, and then I'll flip the coin. A farm would be really easy if it was just a surface farm, because obviously we now have the access to a huge amount of surface walled in and protected. Who's fighting now? Pro Knight, who are you fighting? Stone Carver must withdraw from... I have no idea. But he got shot by arrow? Alright. Military. Go station where Pro Knight is. I don't know what's attacking him. But let's check the others. This troll doesn't have access. So I've walled off the caverns, which is why it's really unusual that things down below would come attack me. Because, as you can see, I have walls to the caverns, so it's things shouldn't be able to come up like that. If I got shot, could it be the crossbowman? No, he's in the wrong spot. What shot you, dude? The hell? I have no idea. Alright, military. Instead of stationing there... Yeah, I hear you with the hives. Instead of stationing there, I'll cancel that order. You'll just go back to training. Nope, there's combat noises again. Human crossbow is fighting. Oh, there's like a brawl. Are you hurting my... Oh, okay, hold up. They're attacking my militia commander. So before I forget, because God knows I'm really forgetful, you guys wanted the hives done. There's really nothing special about hives. That's why I slept on that task. There you go. Now the shale hives are down. Let's go back to the tavern. And this is a fight. So I have no idea why this dude is... Are we fighting? Okay, yes. My militia commander's punching out his teeth, so I would say that's a affirmative. Seriously injured, and I'm just exerted. Okay, instead of stationing, attack. And he's dead. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was the inside man that was trying to coordinate with the thief that I killed topside. This is just, I'm not experienced enough to exactly know. All I know is you punch my militia commander, you get dead. So I deaded them. They got real dead. Decap, or ducap. Mangled idiot. Oh, seeing these bolts here reminds me to do something. So into standing orders, into siege and forbidding. Forbid used ammunition during sieges. So otherwise, we pick up our used ammunition. So if we shoot anything anywhere, we don't just like leave it there. We go fetch it. Which is, oh, who are you? Some other human that died. I'm really not even sure what happened. All I know is we have now christened our lovely tavern with bodies, and someone just got cranky. Mistim got cranky again. Probably because you're hurt. So let's, now that Mistim's cranky, I'm going to schedule them some off time so that he can go recreate or whatever. So he doesn't have to be conscripted and do what I tell him to do. I'm not exactly sure what that was. Well, yeah, that's one way to train my dwarves is to murder guests in my tavern. So we've got a lot of injured right now. So let's make sure that we're taking care of them. So first things first, I need a doctor. So my fisher dwarf is going to become a doc. And then I think they're also the armor smith. Interesting. Protect and serve, I guess. So I'm sending the doc to tend to my people. How do I dispose of non-dwarf corpse? We dump it. I do have a dump here. I need to design at some point a better dump. But we have a garbage dump here. We just dump the stuff out there. Am I pop capped in the settings? I am, yes. Purposefully, intentionally. Someone played Ballroom Blitz in the Tavern? Yeah, I guess so. Let's dump these bodies. Hide the evidence. Right? Do I plan to make an atom smasher? If it gets voted on. Personally, I couldn't care less. A proper dump is fine. Don't need an atom smash most of the time. So the pit is still a work in progress, probably because we have so many people in the hospital. Looks like some people are leaving the hospital now, though. Wow, even a child? Who hurt a child? So I think what I'll do is I'll just keep track of our doc here. Oh, he's resting. Wait, you're also resting? Are you... Even my doctor's hurt. Okay, let's pick another doctor. That would explain it. Second doctor will be... you, woodcutter. Just, no one has skills, so it doesn't really matter. So Ficod, or whatever your name is, go to the hospital and figure it out. Learn on the job. Or pace back and forth, scared that you'll screw up. Whatever. Here he goes, here he goes. Suture, so ribs got messed up. Ribs got messed up. And lower left leg got real messed up. But still more diagnostics are required. Going into the settings now. Population cap. We'll do 30. We should see some immigration as a result. Hopefully not all children. There's no current mandates. Look at that. All that interrupted by human. There are no hostile humans right now. Just cave crocs and trolls in the caverns that don't have access to me. So nothing that is immediately concerning. What? Even a human bowman needs healing? God, hospitals are overflowing. All right, so the children that were in there have been sutured and tended to. So we are getting people out of the hospital now. It had 5, it only has 1 now. And I think Happy Little Tree, our Baroness, is getting tended to now. She's in a lot of pain, though. I don't know what happened, though. Not the foggiest clue why that erupted into a fight. Diplomat could not meet? Whatever. I was busy. I was in the hospital. I think that's a pretty good excuse. Wait. Did the doctor pull a bolt out of her? I got shot by a bronze bolt? Are you kidding me? In my own home? I've heard of castle doctrine, but what about fortress doctrine? Well, I guess that's what we just did. These guys. Okay, so this dude with the bronze bolts, I'm assuming he shot our Baroness, and that's how it all started. Unfortunately, because they are not citizens, there's no, like, cases for it. There's no cold case or anything, right? It wasn't a crime, it was just violence. Stupid violence. Alright, Docs, you now can be unemployed. This one is going to go back to what he's doing. I'm not going to have Ficod here stay as doctor. He actually did patch everyone up, so keep him in that role, because he's better than anyone else we currently have. Can I bury the humans in unmarked graves? I could just dump them into the outside. Once, I believe it should already be a task somewhere. It's just we have so many other tasks queued up. No, maybe not. I don't see dumping them as a current task, but I'll deal with it if it doesn't get dealt with. Maybe at some point I'll have a dumping spot that goes straight into magma. Cleaning up our mess. So, mixed statues. Alright. This was a mandate. Let's see if one of our upset people wants to do something creative. So, one of the ones that are super upset just wants to pray. And then the other one wants to be creative. So Shem, I'm going to have you make these statues out of bauxite. And this is a mandate from our Baroness. So, 2 birds, 1 stone, sort of. Fortifications are getting done. Good. Don't know why my corner walls got all suspended, but I can unsuspend it. So, the coin flip, finally. Heads will be farm, tails will be production. Let's see what it is. Oops, I hit the mic. Sorry if that sounded terrible. Tails. So a production chain. So once I'm done with this fortification here, I will do the production chain. I think the production chain I want to design is food and drink. So that's what I'm going to work on. Sort of streamlining food and drink so that it doesn't become so labor intensive, which is a something that you definitely are going to want to do before you spin up the population too high, because that's, if you're really new to the game, that's definitely how first time players tend to lose, is they run out of food and drink. So one of the advantages to lowering the population cap, like I've done, is that you don't end up in a situation where you're like, oh no, I ran out of something to drink. And that typically, you run out of stuff to drink because you're cooking your drinks. So if you take a look at drinks here, if you go to the labor menu, go to kitchen, and go to drinks, if you allow your alcohol to be cooked, then you can't drink the alcohol. You could, of course, do this in the situation that you have so much alcohol it doesn't matter, but yeah, don't cook your alcohol. Speaking of which, how many... I probably have so many prepared meals. Yeah, I have 600 prepared meals. It's an obscene amount, so I don't need to worry about that. So we're almost done with the fortifications, and then I just have to finish off the moat digging, and we'll move on to the next task. Did we make those goods? Yes, we did. Okay, so Shem has finished. Not that it made him any happier, but he's done making those two statues. And I'll put them down. Puppy treats? Hey, bud. Let me check the tasks out. So a lot of the digging is just because I think my miners are... No, my miners are doing other things. I don't know. I do have 2 more dwarves to raffle off that have hit legendary. So we have another legendary miner, and then I'm guessing the stonecutter is legendary as well. I do see that the carpenter's legendary, but I'm gonna raffle these guys off a little at a time. So probably just do 1 raffle for now, and I'll get around to additional raffles later on. So there you go. Raffle timer's up for the legendary miner. Speaking of the legendary miner, is this... No, that's shield. Looks like we're finally getting around to digging it out again. Been a hot minute. Oh, more goods? No, I finished that. A bauxite statue of a slug. Wait a minute. Did Shem make this? This is hilarious. Shem hates slugs, so he makes a statue of a slug. No wonder he's miserable. This idiot can't help but to be happy. Look, literally his only preference is he absolutely detests slugs, so he carves one. Dude, you're insufferable. You're absolutely insufferable. Is he trying to face his fears? He's not scared of slugs. He just hates them. What a weirdo. Maxu, thank you for the resub. It's pretty funny if you ask me. But yeah. Like, dang it, I hate those slugs. Then I'm going to immortalize them in bauxite statues. It's like, okay. Seems strange, but whatever floats your boat, friend. Maybe he's a tortured artist? Yeah, clearly he is. Very clearly. So we're almost done with the channeling. Yes, finally. So I know it's probably hard to picture this 2D space in 3D world, but you've got a moat with a towering wall on the other side of the dry moat. And the towering wall has arrow loops that overhang the moat. So it's a pretty powerful setup, I'd like to think. Ooh, it's winter. I can see all the ice. God, why'd you all pause this stuff? You're killing me. I should have just canceled it and rebuilt it. Fey mood? Strange mood? Oh, secretive mood. Oh, it's Shem! Our tortured artist. What are you making, dude? Is it another... Shem the Sad Sack is making something secretive. He's gonna make another slug, isn't he? He actually secretly has a slug fetish, and he just says he detests slugs to keep it a secret. But his slug fetish is toxic, because he's so salty, you know? Okay, that was a bit of a stretch. But, yeah. What are you making, dude? He's making something out of peach wood. Okay. Have fun. It's gonna like... It's gonna be worthless, isn't it? We are almost done with the moat. Almost. Yep, alright. Cow leather, shale blocks, willow logs, and peachwood logs. So not particularly important materials. Well, whatever. Whatever it is, I'm happy that he's finding some sort of way to channel his inner suffering. And Miss Noble Hoity-Toity Pants wants me to make a shield. Fine. Be funny if it was a salt shaker. Oh, I would love that. So this perimeter is almost done. One more fortification. Why do you keep pausing this stuff? Is there like a tree branch in the way? Let me scroll up. No, there's no tree branches in the way. They're just cranky. Wow, Zen, you've been winning a lot recently. So Zen, I know you probably wanted to be the legendary miner, but you're going to be Shem. Gotcha. Oh man. So, hopefully your strange mood is useful. It's a splint. Wow, that couldn't be any more depressing. Mr. Cranky Pants makes a splint. Okay. Yep. One thing that I could do is actually start to create displays. So, let's show off his splint, I guess. Why am I blanking? Because that would be on the craft dwarfs. No, I was right. Stone. Wow, I'm having the largest brain fart ever. Pedestal. Thank you. That's what it is. Big old brain fart. I appreciate that. Let's make this out of cinnabar and make it immediately. I have a few artifacts here. So if we open up the objects menu, treasure of the gem of fingers stuff here. So we have the chest that's in the main temple. We've got the figurine in the main temple. We've got a ring in the East Temple, which is Temple of Beauty. And then we have the weapons stand, or armor rack, rather, that's not being displayed. And then we have one other item that is not being displayed. The thing that Shem just made. So actually, let's make 2 Cinnabar pedestals, because I have 2 things to show off, so might as well get both. Is the splint description slug themed by any chance? As soon as I put it down, I'll check. I would love if it was, but something tells me it won't be. Alright, so Mistim, you're also in a really bad mood, but you are delighted, satisfied, and blissful. So I think your mood is probably improving. Your finger is still hurt. So that's... Oh, and you just want to pray. Yeah. I can't really help you until that becomes a voted goal. So the trench is done, and the wall and fortifications are done. So we're done. We're done with the defenses. It's totally completed. So now, set up a better system for brewing and cooking. Nice. So in terms of brewing, well, let me think. No matter what, we're likely to have to... Do I need to bury you guys? No, we hauled one of the corpses out. We just need to haul the other one. People are lazy. So I think I want to brew and cook roughly in the same area, near one another, but minimize the travel time to the tavern, I think. Did I leave stairs to allow enemies to leave the pit? I have, yeah. On purpose. It also allows us to haul things out of the pit. And if any dwarf falls into the pit, they can leave the pit. The stairs are on purpose, so they don't get stuck. Alright. Now, here's the question. With the new perimeter wall up top, I could probably set up, like, cooking and brewing over here somewhere. Because this is not our first line of defense, it's now the second line of defense, so it's a little bit safer. So, let me go into the plans here. Ideally, you want the dining room somewhere very central to your base location. But the other issue that the other thing I'm thinking of is I want a dining room that can help treat cave adaptation at some point. So, I'll explain why I'm really trying to mull these things over. So one of the things that I explained last stream is cave adaptation. If you spend too much time underground, you end up in a situation where if you go into the sun, you will be irritated and you will puke. So the way to avoid cave adaptation is to have sort of skylights. But for me to plan the skylights, I need to make sure that what's above the common areas are terrain that allows me to avert cave adaptation. AKA avoid ponds and avoid brooks. So if I want to avoid ponds and avoid brooks, I'm going to want to put my my dining rooms in a place that probably isn't underneath this pasture. Because if this pasture is ever to remain a pasture, I can't be digging it up and turning it into skylights, right? Because then it's not a pasture anymore, and it can't be a farm anymore, and it's not going to be good for bees either. Not that I have bees yet. So we're probably going to want the dining rooms to be... I could have a dining room... Well, here's what I'll do. In plans, and this is going to be really messy, I'm going to just dig out a hole. So this area here is easily skylightable, in other words. So if I set up a cooking area here. I can have a dining room area there. It's not exactly central to the base, but it's close enough that it's not going to be too inconvenient to get to. And I just have to make sure not to use this corridor that connects to the mining pits, because I'm going to want a separate bridge here. It's actually going to be very important for me to have a second bridge here, because this bridge and the outside external perimeter walls keeps the outside stuff from coming in, but it doesn't keep the tunnel stuff from coming in to eat me. So I'm going to need defenses in this area, which means that if I'm setting up defenses in this area, I should avoid getting too close to the walls here so that I can set up the same sort of shooting area. One of the reasons why there's this gap here, if you're wondering, is if there is an enemy adjacent to your fortifications, they can shoot in very effectively. But if there's a gap, they can't. So I left like a two wide gap so that if I have archers on this side of the wall shooting in on the bridge, the people on the bridge can't shoot back very effectively. And I'm going to want to incorporate the same sort of design here, which then means that this dining room has to go, or this cooking area kind of has to go up here, and the dining room has to go up over here. So this is sort of roughed out the area that I wanted at. So let's plan that. Eventually, I think what's going to happen here is that that there will be a tavern bridge as well, so that if fights erupt in the tavern, I can shut it down. Which means that this cooking area should lead to the tavern area without having to use the bridge. The other problem is that if I retract the bridge, I also restrict access to the dining room. So another thing that I could do is to have it layered, which actually might be a really good idea. Yeah, it would be a really good idea. So one of the advantages of a layered dining room is if I have a dining room directly over the tavern, I can have skylights light up the dining room and the tavern. And I think that's probably the route I want to take. So that would look something like having stairs here that go up to a dining room right above the tavern. So taverns is a place that you only drink, and then dining rooms is the place that you eat, and I can have them above one another. And that would put the dining room on the level of the temples, but far enough away from the temples over here that it's not going to really interrupt. I like it. Then I could even put the cooking above the dining room too. And that way I'm not digging out like a giant column. So let's erase this plan here. And I am not going to design this to be cave adapted yet. I'm going to wait until that becomes voted on. But yeah, that's the plan. Oh, I'm still in plan, aren't I? And I was on tree cut, because that's totally not what I meant to do. So now what I'm doing is I'm just queuing up mining to completely match the footprint of the tavern, so that the dining room is the same exact dimensions, and that way, once I get around to creating skylights, I can very, very, very easily illuminate everything all at once. It will mean sort of collapsing the... Well, yeah. I'll cross the bridge when I get there. So this is kind of the dining room area. And I'm building a ramp here temporarily until I can set up stairs. So if this is the dining room, what I could do is I could have the kitchen just above this area here, which is not going to get in the way of the temple because I'm not going to have so many side temples. And then if I add a lot of side temples, I can have the side temples go south and not so much east or west, so that it won't bump. So that'll work. Cool. I'm excited about that. It's a better plan than I had originally come up with. Ah, see, look at this tree. Its branches are getting awfully close to the walls here. You love having to think in 3D? Yeah, it could be really tricky sometimes, but I like it too. Just checking in on our... So Mistum just wants to pray badly and think abstractly, which I don't have the capacity to do at the moment. And then Zenbiotic here has had some pretty good moods recently, but hasn't climbed out of that rut, unfortunately. Maybe sometime soon. Cheers. A little overdue. I'm doing a bad job of minding this out, aren't I? There we go. That'll work. I think. Symbiotic has slipped into a depression. Okay. Well, I could have seen that coming from a mile away. Let's go ahead and set up the pedestals on these temples. So I'm going to do the display of there, and I'm also going to put a display here in the tavern as well, which is probably going to get stolen, but you know, that's funny. So funny to me, at least. Nope, that's not working either. What does mood do affect? That's a complicated question that I'm probably not the authority to answer. But what can end up happening if you're in really bad mood is they can cause like loyalty cascades. Basically, they can give up on you and cause other people to fight, which causes more fighting, and it spirals out of control like that. That's sort of the simple way to explain it. Alright, I'll do it like this. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be replacing everything with proper built walls, so I don't really mind that we dig a stairwell into the wall like this. In fact, actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Where the pillars were, let's put our stairs there, so that the pillars actually act as functional stairways to get to the dining room above, cutting down commute time and allowing an increased flow of traffic. Unfortunately, it means that tavern fights can spill into the dining room in probably a way that is undesirable, but whatever. That'll be my future me problem. And if I know anything about future me, he has to deal with all the problems that the present me has set aside. So another thing that I want to do while I work on this, just to make my life harder, is setting up flooring around the perimeter so that I can't have accidental perimeter breaches. I don't yet have an agreement with the elves, so I want to do this out of like cheap and readily available wood before the elves go, oh, stop cutting down the trees in the forest. And then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm compelled to do what they command, unless I want to go to war with them, which I don't want to, at least initially. So I'm doing all this in hazelwood. And this is just so that there can't be trees that overhang my walls as a Trojan horse in the future. And I'll also cut down some extra hazel trees so that I have more hazelwood, so that all of the perimeter walling, granted it'll be flammable, but all of it will at least be the same color. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress Taming the Wilds, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 10th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhodamont.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell.